Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Wonder of Anime podcast. I'm your host, Lisa, and I am so excited to be bringing you today this special episode of the podcast. I was lucky enough to get invited to the press night at Mercer Labs for the unveiling of their One Piece Mercer Labs collabs. Mercer Labs, if you don't know, is an interactive art museum located in Manhattan, and they collaborated with Toei Animation to bring this incredible experience of One Piece like you have never seen it before. It is a multi floor experience with different rooms covering One Piece during the Wano arc, which we all know has been one of the biggest arcs of One Piece so far. On top of being able to visit the exhibit and see it before anyone else, I also was lucky enough to get an interview with Roy Nachum, who is the co-founder and creative director of Mercer Labs, along with Nasir, who is the manager of special events at Mercer Labs. This was a once-in-a-lifetime conversation, so insightful, getting a peek behind the curtains at how this exhibit came to be and what it was like for Mercer Labs to partner with One Piece and bring this iconic exhibit about anime to New York and make it something that people can go and enjoy and feel like they really are a part of the One Piece world, specifically in the Wano arc. The exhibit officially opens today, October 9th, and is available through November 30th. I'll have all the information on how you can visit, how you can get tickets in the show notes for this episode or in the YouTube description box. But I am so excited to share my conversation with Roy and Nasir, and I hope that you enjoy it. And of course, be sure to leave your thoughts. If anything from this episode inspires you, be sure to leave all that in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed this episode and a sneak peek at what the exhibit looks like.
My name is Roy Nachum. I'm the art director of Mercer Lab and co-founder of Mercer Lab.
My name is Nasir, manager of special projects at Mercer Labs.
And what can you tell us about the One Piece exhibit and what makes it different from any of the other exhibits that have been done so far at Mercer Labs?
I think what makes it different is first of all we never did anime, so when Nas brought to the table One Piece, it was super inspiring, and we had a lot of conversations how to go about and what to do and how to do it. So I feel like in the last year um, we started a conversation and then working super hard on that in the last 6 months really got us to a place that we're very comfortable with the outcome of the work, the way it looks, the way it feels, the way you experience the whole show, the installation one after each other. Definitely something extremely new. Um, and I think it's the first of a kind that you take anime and you know um, putting it in that setup that is completely immersed and you completely get lost. It's almost like a dream.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it's a meeting of the synergies of the evolution in terms of animation and technology, in terms of a physical space and um in totality, just spaces in general, right? Like they've done collaborations with other spaces like the Sphere, but it's nothing like what you'll be experiencing with this collaboration, right? This one you get to implement the visual aspect, the sound aspect, the taste aspect, the touch aspect. All of these senses get expanded upon. So it's really a one of a kind and a trailblazer for new experiences like that.
Having been there myself, I can definitely attest to that, especially that dream feeling. Like it does feel like you're walking right into the show. And I think the part about
Mm,
hearing the music, like I feel like I felt the music in my entire body, especially that one room that's like blue. I was like, okay, this is something completely different. And having been a lifelong anime fan, like Roy mentioned, like this is kind of new. We've never had experiences like that, at least here in the States. So it's amazing to finally have something like this here. Were either of you
mm,
anime fans or One Piece fans in general before this collab?
mm. Um, I've definitely been an anime fan since I was wee. like 8 years old. I started watching One Piece when I was like 14. I've turned 25 this year, so that's gonna be 11 years watching the show heavily. I'm caught up on all the manga and everything. And then with Roy, he like we have so many creative discussions, and he knew I was so passionate about it that when we started this project, or before we started this project, we really got to go into, you know, how it was affecting the culture, the colors. Like I explained the story to him, and I think it grew on him. Am I right, Roy?
100%. When us, when we discuss in the studio, and to me, it was Mercer Lab is all about collaborations, right? So doing a collab with anime was like almost like a dream come true, right? Think about it. It's a new format. We had to play with the best of the best. Um, to us, it's a privilege. It's just such a great opportunity to do such a thing. The quality of the work is unbelievable. So to play with that and to start mixing it in our tools, in our technology, with our technology over there, really took it to a different and new experience.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think personally, One Piece is the perfect anime to do something like this with because it is so long standing. Like you said, now, as you've been watching this since you were young. And especially the Wano arc in specific, which is what this exhibit is like inspired around, is so important and so like it's been such a cultural moment these last couple years. So it really couldn't have been better. And with that, I did want to
Mhm.
ask, Roy, you did create an original painting just for this exhibit. Did you've been talking to Nas about One Piece. Was there anything special or anything additional you did before painting or anything to kind of get you prepared to mix Luffy and your own signature style that you're known for?
I think Nas can talk about it. I mean, when Nas went to Tokyo and when One Piece came and saw the museum a year ago, I would say that I was focusing a lot of cherry blossom, the whole energy around that, we and then we discussed with them, and Nas brought the idea of like maybe we can. They really love the idea of the cherry blossom because it's like a minimum, it's like a very small time period of time of see that beautiful what nature brings us and basically represent Japan and especially in those moments. So I think in general having Luffy wearing this outfit with a cherry blossom represents something that is I would say so. I think it's about a moment of time. So it's limited time to see and to experience that show. And the crown is symbolized the crowns that Luffy has in the past. So I feel like this a lot of like energy came together and just kind of meant to be to do it that way.
Mm.
I love that.
Yeah, and I know that when Roy and I were in early discussions about how to make the aesthetic in totality match the theme of, things that he had already been working on. We discussed so many things, and types of flowers are always, we're always a part of those conversations in different species. So for this, we felt that it was, culturally memory building for the Japan team as well to have the cherry blossoms be a part of the aesthetic. And as soon as they saw the concept, they were like, wow, we know we want to do that. And that was like the first concept we brought them, so it was seamless because that's where that's how they build their memories, and it's seasonal, and it reflects the show too. Like it's here now, and people get to visit it for a certain amount of time, and they also get to make the memory and then wait for another season like this to come.
Yeah, I can especially as someone also a lifelong anime fan. It's like, what show doesn't have the Sakura like arc? Like, there's always an episode where they're like, let's go view the cherry blossoms. Like, there's always something in almost every single story.
Mm,
So it is iconic to tie those in together, especially because One Piece like doesn't take place in Japan. But it is from Japan. So it's awesome seeing Luffy incorporate those motifs. But then speaking of the anime, does this open the door for more possible anime collabs? Because I can't imagine, especially with Comic Con this weekend, people are not not gonna are gonna come and be like, okay, what's next? Like, what else can we see in this type of art style?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many, things on the horizon, especially for this space and big anime IPs. And we were very meticulous about who we first partnered up with. We were very meticulous about which company and which, Toei having the biggest anime IPs. We wanted to make sure that it was a lifelong relationship that we were building, and we wanted to showcase what they were doing on the highest level and let them know we could do it on all levels.
I agree.
On that vein, since its launch, I'd looking into more into Mercer Labs. Like you guys have had a pulse on just pop culture in general. Doja Cat just had her album launch with you guys. Robert De Niro, I think Maluma was there. Like you guys are in every sector. Why has it been so important to collaborate with all of these different sectors of pop culture for Mercer Labs specifically?
I think, the main reason we opened Mercer Lab is to bring the culture together. New York is such a great space. It's so diverse. So we would love to celebrate different kind of like pop music, filmmakers, artists, like different kind of genres, different kind of like approaches to show how things can be created in such a different way by building 15 different installation rooms that each one have different technology. That brings a joy to see, De Niro, for example, short film in 360 for the first time in Mercer Labs. And that, you know, the idea was to encourage filmmakers to create works in 360. And so you're part of the installation, you're part of the film in a completely different way. Um, Doja Cat was like a great collab. We see eye to eye with her. Like I spend a lot of time with her, and we wanted to celebrate her and our passion and what she wants to do. And so it's basically it's Mercer Lab is space. It's almost like a white canvas. So everybody can draw whatever they want to draw on that, and every time is so unique and different, and that's what makes Mercer Lab very special and very unique. It's a different kind of a museum approach. It's faster. We can produce fast. We can do change things with the click of a button. It's meant to be working with the time of where we are right now. That like people are hungry to create things in a very fast scale, um, to keep their thoughts and creative ideas fresh. And because we in a world right now that everything goes so fast. I mean, things are happening extremely fast. I remember doing shows with museums. It took like 3 4 years to complete. And the reason we built that spot, the space, is to give the opportunity, because I'm an artist, like, and I know how it works. And sometimes when you work on something, then it's just not relevant in 4 or 5 years, right? So the process is very difficult for an artist, because we want to say what we want to say, and we kind of like want to be talk about things that are happening right now, things that are relevant right now. We're definitely celebrating the past, and we're not forgetting that. So, obviously, every museum is have its own moment, and we're not trying to be something like a typical museum call it. We are we see it as a movement, as a space of creators, a hub that we can just bring crazy ideas to life, and that specific project with anime, take it to a really whole nother level. How you take in 2D work that is unbelievable, and now you look at that in 3D, or just sound, or just like pixels and lights and robotics and paintings. So there's so many different ways to approach it. So once you see and you walk through the space, you discover more and more as you go. So there's it's almost like layers, right? It's almost like an old master painting, right? Painter that is just like painting over layers on layers on layers, and in the end, you really feel and see the whole picture, and so the feel of like not knowing where you're going and not knowing what to expect and just building those layers together. I think that's what makes Mercer Lab different and unique.
And I mean, I couldn't have said it better. You know, Roy designed the space for it to be culturally expansive and to, you know, ignite the creative in all walks, people of all walks of life. And I think I think we're doing a good job. And it's important that there's so many things to come in the future. It's like it's inevitable because of the foundation that's being laid down now.
Yeah, I definitely, having been there and listening to what you're saying, I can see that intentionality, especially myself as a creative person. Like, we went through twice, and I was like, this still isn't enough for me to like. I'm looking at like every single corner, trying to grab everything in, especially the one room with the boat, with the Thousand Sunny, and I'm just like, how can I like memorize, like
Mhm.
fossilize this in my mind? And something you said that really stuck out to me is how things really take such a long time in the art world, but the consumer, we're like, we don't see that. Like, we go to the museum for one day and like that's it. Like, it stuff like this, I feel like, and I what I really appreciated being at Mercer Labs is like, you can kind of take this with you and you'll think about it, and you'll have like videos, and it's like, yes, it's a cute photo opportunity, but it also goes, I think, a lot deeper than that. So I really, like I said, I was really wowed by everything. And I think I said my favorite room was the boat room, but what if this exhibit is your favorite part or your favorite room, either to be in or that you got to work on?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I think, when people, like you said, when guests coming in, yes, it's a space that you can take great content, and the beauty about it, you become your own director. You create the movie through your lens, through your phone, through your camera, through your eyes, and whatever you love, it makes it unique and different because you're choosing that specific room. Some people will love another room, and then that conversation and seeing the posts and I mean, if you look at it, right, Instagram, social media, it's a way for us to talk with people, to show what we love, to show what we discover, to show people, yo, this is something really. So you feel a part of that. It's you are inside the installation. You are part of the art. The reflection of you. When you see yourself in the background, let's say for that specific room, and you see the boat behind you or around you, this really takes. It's a different kind of like feeling, and this is what we love to do. I mean, it's just like it's like a dream. It's like you walk and I think that collaboration is a very unique moment because again, it's like you're really in the anime. You're in the story. It's hard to describe in words. That's what I'm saying. Like when people coming in, it's a different experience to each one. But I feel like the common thing around that is everybody's get really inspired from different things in that space, and that space, once you inspire people and once you trigger that moment in artists or individuals, whoever, coming and experience that show, it really makes you think differently. It's almost coming like from the back door rather than coming from the front and just being like almost like a robot kind of vibe. You're coming from the back. You feel like you're a part of that. You feel like you can contribute to it. You feel like you can meditate on it like this. So that's really, to me, that's like, I think that's the magical part about the space.
I would agree with everything that Roy is saying about, you know, you being able to experience it from all different angles and have your own perception of the space. I think it's very important that when people go into a space that's, you know, creatively expansive, that they have their own perception. They're able to have space to build their own ideas and their own thoughts from it. You know, a lot of the great things that come from the space that Roy designed is people walk away having ideas of their own, and people walk away having like that creative spark of their own, and carrying with that carrying that with them for their next projects or ideas that may have not even ever existed before. So I look at the space as a multi-dimensional, um, you know, give back to, people. Um, because Roy designed it to be expanded and twist and turn and like let your mind do the work for you, where a lot of places they'll try and overbear you with things. Like this place you have a free space, you take your time, you get to accept it, and my I think for me my favorite room is the whole downstairs is I'm not gonna lie, we outdid ourselves. That whole downstairs is pretty cool. Like, I really love the Wano arc is so amazing for so many reasons, and they're even in the ball pit. There's even pearls, as if we're in the ocean. All the balls are like pearls, like, and it's just an amazing experience. So you go through the whole thing, and you get to build so much with yourself and in your mind, and go in the universe and it's so beautiful when people are able to do that in a space.
Yeah, I it's funny thinking at some of the pictures that I took and I did what you guys said without even realizing it. Like I did take the mirror picture and you can see the boat behind me. And then I did take the picture in the room where Luffy's in his Gear 5 transformation and I made sure that I angled it so you can see Luffy. And I won't post this video. I was able to take my son and in the room with the boat, he's trying to jump in the water.
Oh.
And One Piece is like a huge part of our family. Like his birthday was One Piece themed, so it was so funny. And you guys have like coloring pages. I love that as well. That like kids can be interactive. Some parts scared him because it was like he wasn't like used to the thunder and the clouds, but I can definitely tell like what you're saying, it was so intentional. And I'm like, wow, I did do my little selfie moment and not even realize like you guys thought of that. You're 10 steps ahead. So you did unintentionally answer my last question, which is, what do you hope people walk away from? And I think, that power, that point about creating your own thing, especially I think with the art world, everything is so curated. Like they want you to do this and go here. And this whole labs was just a completely different experience. So I want to thank you both so much for your time with me today and answering these questions. I feel like this just elevated my experience of it. So if there's anything else that you would want people attending to know or anything that you guys have that you want to let the audience know.
Naz, you want to comment on that?
Well, I think in terms of partnerships, the sky's not the limit. It's just a view. I think that we have so many great relationships in terms of animation IPs, and we want to keep it fresh. We always want to work on, new collaborations that bring a different dynamic, things that people weren't expecting. Like, I know nobody was expecting One Piece, so, that helped with the mystique of it, So it's like doing partnerships that are also mystique, but also major, right? So, in terms of that, we have a lot more to do. This is the beginning, and it's a great one. And on another side, I'm working on my own anime as well, and we're gonna launch that very soon. And you know, we're getting feedback from a bunch of great people, like Roy included. We have and my everybody, and just building a world in which we're describing right now. And I think I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. There's so many big things to come.
Definitely. I believe, the future is bright. I mean, building this again, that spot, it's just like, to me, it's a dream. So it's a dream come true. So, and it's finally, I can, put together with my team, incredible shows that are completely different than other shows that are going out there worldwide. I mean, it's funny you said like you go into museums, like everything is like super tight and super like it's almost like you feel unwelcome in a way, right? You feel like Yeah, you see the work, you can touch the work, you can. That's like that thing. You're doing a tour guide. They explain you every little thing. For us, we just want people to come in and explore and be and make decision if they like it, if they don't like it. They don't need maybe in the future, we're gonna have books reading about it, and we're gonna be part of history. But as we see in it right now, we want the culture to decide, the people to decide for themselves if this is a good art, if this is something that they feel related to, if this is something that makes them inspired. Art to me, it's all about inspired. It's all about inspiration. It's all about bringing people together. This moment of equality that people can walk through the space. Uh, you know, I grew up with a family that my grandma lost vision in one eye, and then she got very sick and died very young. And then my grandpa was handicapped. My father, without earpiece, cannot really hear. Is kind of like deaf, if you think about it. And bringing him to the sound room and have him laying on the ground there and feeling the vibration. I told him, take the earpiece out in church. I want to see as an experiment, kind of like, what do you feel like? And you really feel, for people who cannot hear, they feel the vibration, they feel the energy through sight and the sound that is coming through your body. And then for people who are visually impaired, they can come in and really experience a show, a full show. So the sound is very important. It takes you everywhere. It's almost like, it's to me it's equal, if not more, than the actual visuals. So sound is extremely, extremely important. So Mercer Lab is a space that invite everybody. Everybody can feel and be themselves without hiding, without thinking, without feeling like, oh, I don't know what is that, like red splash paint on that painting. Feel a little awkward with it. So maybe, but here you can actually, you're part of that painting. You're part of that. You inside that splash of red paint, etc. As a metaphor. So this is something that really, again, it's a dream to do. I'm super excited about Naz's new anime. Just see him growing through that, and just like his passion for so many years, like living and enjoying this incredible anime series in general. I think it's so amazing to see people that are very into something and focused. This is something that is inspired. It's always inspiring me. I'm extremely focused as well in what I do. So, and I'm open. I'm open to do so many different things, because when you do different things, mistakes happen. Mistakes leads you to different things, and then those mistakes become like a wonder and become like something that you never expect. So I feel like the making of is the process is the most important thing. That's why we show the back of the scenes. We're working on like a bunch of segments showing the back of the scenes, the conversations in the studio, how the projects come to life. Not for us to make ourselves famous, is more as to show a process to those up and coming artists and up and coming musicians, or any kind of artist that just will open his mind to come and to do something completely different. I feel like that's what is missing when you go to art school and things like that. When you study, they focus more about critiquing you rather than guiding you and showing you, okay, you can do one, two, three. You don't have to use the ready-made. You don't have to use just that pencil. You can do so many other things, right? You can create your own tools. So that brings something completely new to the picture. So to me, that seeing artists and brands and One Piece and Doja and Alicia and all the people that we collaborate with, every exhibition is a completely different approach, different, energy, different kind of like rhythm. So it's just amazing, and more to come. So get ready. Like we working me and Naz on a bunch of crazy stuff that's gonna come very soon. And the team in Mercer Lab, we have a studio. We're creating everything in house, so it makes it easy to become like a hub. So we encourage people to reach, and to talk with us. And if they have ideas, no matter if you are a famous artist or an up and coming artist, this is a space for everybody to bring their message. That's why people are drawing and feel a part of the thing and leave their mark in our installation. It's not about us; it's about the people. And yeah, I mean, like I said, the future is bright. I hope we're gonna continue doing, and I know we will. And it's just the beginning, like Nas said.